Today we'll be looking at quadratic equation by factoring. Now, what is quadratic equation? A quadratic equation is a second order equation. It's an equation in which the highest power of the variable is 2. For instance, every quadratic equation has a general form of ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, where the highest power of x in this expression is 2. Therefore, we can say that's a quadratic equation. Now, if I have ax squared plus c equals 0, maybe an equation of this form is also quadratic because the highest power of x in this expression is also 2. So that is what we are going to do today, but basically we want to solve by factoring. Now let's take some problems. Now, for instance, if we have 5x squared minus 3x minus 2 equals 0. Now we want to factorize this quadratic equation. Now in this equation we have 3 terms: the first term, the second term, and the middle term. And the last term. Now the whole idea is that the first step is to multiply the first term by the last term. If I do that, 5x squared times minus 2 will give me minus 10x squared. Now the second step is to break the x down, the x squared into x and x. X times x will give me x squared. Now the next thing is to find two factors such that when I multiply this factor, it gives me minus 10. If I add or subtract the same factors, it gives me minus 3. I'm going to say that again. We want to look for two factors so that when we multiply them, it gives us minus 10. If we add or subtract, it gives us minus 3. So the best way to do it, I think, is to find the prime factors of 10. So if I do that, 2 here, 5, 5 here, 1. So let me use 2, 5, and 2. So if I say 5 times 2, it gives me 10. Though I need a minus 10, so this one works. So let me do 5 times minus 2 will give me minus 10. 5 minus 2 will give me 3. But what I need is a minus 10 and a minus 3, not just 3. So let me swap the sign. Minus 5 times 2 will give me minus 10. Minus 5 plus 3 will give me minus 2. Will give me minus 5 plus 2 will give me minus 3. So the factors are actually minus 5 and 2 and plus 2. So I'm going to write minus 5 and plus 2. So now the next step is to replace the middle term by this and this. So we're going to replace the middle term by minus 5 and plus 2x. So minus 5x plus 2x. So if we do that, we'll have 5x squared minus 5x plus 2x, then minus 2 equals 0. The next thing is to group them. Like I now have 4 terms, I'm going to pair them, I'm going to group them. The next step is to find the highest factor. Now in comparing numbers, the highest factor is 5. In comparing the variable, the highest factor is x. So 5x squared divided by 5x will give me x, minus 5x divided by 5x will give me minus 1. Then plus, now if I factor out this, the highest factor is 2. So 2x divided by 2 plus 2, x divided by plus 2 will give me x. Minus 2 divided by plus 2 will give me minus 1 equals 0. So I'm going to look at this and this. They must correspond, they must be identical. If not, then my expression is wrong. So this is minus x minus 1, this has to be x minus 1. So now, since they are the same, I'm going to take one of them, x minus 1, then 5x plus 2, so I'm going to write 5x plus 2 equals 0. Now the next step is to equate this to 0 and that to 0. So therefore, I'm going to do x minus 1 equals 0, or 5x plus 2 equals 0. So x equals, if I take this to the other side, I have 1, or 5x equals, take this to the other side, I have minus 2, so x equals minus 2 over 5. Now we're going to solve another question, number 2. So let's say we have 2y squared minus 7y plus 3 equals 0. Now if we look at this problem, the first step, multiply the first term by the last term. So 2y squared times 3 plus 3 will give me plus 6y squared. Now the next thing we want to do, we want to look for two factors such that when we multiply them, it gives us plus 6. If we add or subtract them, it gives us minus 7. So let's break the y's into y, the y square into y and y. Then we'll find the prime factors of 6, 2 here, 3, 3 here, 1. So let me say 2 times 3. If I say 2 times 3, 2 times 3 will give me 6. 2 plus 3 will give me 5. But I need a plus 6 and a minus 7. So let me use 6 and 1 then. So if I do 6 times 1, I'm going to get plus 6. If I do 6 plus 1, I'm going to get 7. But what I need a plus 6 and a minus 7. So I need to do something about the sign. So let me do minus 6 times minus 1. Then minus 6 times minus 1 will give me plus 6. Minus 6 minus 1 will give me minus 7. Now, you can see. So I'm looking for two factors such that when I multiply them, it gives me a plus 6. If I add or subtract them, it gives me a minus 7. So my factors are minus 6 and minus 1. So I'm going to add minus 6 to this, and then minus y. Now, the next thing to do is to replace these two terms by the middle term. So if I do that, I'm going to arrive at 2y squared minus 6y minus y plus 3 equals 0. Now I'm going to pair them. I'm going to factorize them by grouping. So now the next thing, I'll find the highest power of this. Highest power of this and this is 2 for y squared and y. It is y. Now I'm going to do 2y squared divided by 2y will give me y. Then minus 6y divided by 2y will give me minus 3. Then I'll put a minus sign here. And I'll do this. I want to take the highest common factor. There is nothing that is common between this and this, so I'll bring out 1. Each time you find out that you don't have a common factor, just bring out 1. So therefore, we're going to do y, if I do minus y divided by, okay, if I do, this is y divided by 1 will give me y. Now the next thing I'm going to do, minus plus will be minus. So I'm going to do 3 divided by 1 will be 3 equals 0. Now you can see this and this have to correspond. So since they are the same, I'm going to pick one of them, y minus 3, then 2y minus 1 equals 0. So I'm going to equate this to 0, equate this to 0. So I have y minus 3 equals 0, or 2y minus 1 equals 0. So therefore y will be equals to 3, or 2y equals 1. So y equals 1/2. So my answer is y equals 3, or y equals 1/2. Now let's take another question. The third question. Now in the third question, let's say we have 3x squared minus 10xy plus 7y squared. We're going to do the same thing. Now in this case, we're multiplying the first term by the last term. If we do that, this multiplied by this will give me 21x squared y squared. 3 times 7, 21 x squared times y squared will give me x squared y squared. Now the next thing to do is to break the x and y. Do you understand that? So x and y, I'm going to do x and y, x and y. So if I multiply these two to give me that, I'm going to share them equally. You will have equal share. Now the next thing is to look for two factors so that when I multiply them it gives me 21, if I add or subtract them it gives me minus 10. So let me use the prime factor. So 3 here 7, 7 here 1. So I have 3 and 7. So let me see, 7 times 3 will give me 21, 7 plus 3 will give me 10. But I need a plus 21 and a minus 10, so I'm going to work on the sign. So I will do minus 7 times minus 3. It gives me plus 21 minus 7 minus 3 will give me minus 10. Now, the next thing I want to do, the factors are minus 7 and minus 3, so I'm going to write it here, minus 7 and minus 3. So I'm going to replace these two terms by the middle term. So my expression will now be 3x squared minus 7xy minus 3xy plus 7y squared. Alright, let me clean this so that space, create space. Alright, I'm going to group them now. Now I want to take what they have in common. This and this, nothing in common. For x, okay, I'm going to bring out x. I have x here. I have x here. I have x squared here, x, so I can bring out x. Y here, no y here, so it is only x that's common. So if I do 3x squared divided by x, will give me 3x. If I do minus 7xy divided by x, will give me minus 7y. Minus, what is common here? I'm going to take, y is common. So if I do minus, okay, let me say 3xy divided by y will give me 3x. 3xy divided by y will give me 3x. Now minus plus is minus. So 7y squared divided by y will give me 7y. Now the next thing, this and this has to correspond, so I'll pick one of them, 3x minus 7y, bracket x minus y, x minus y. So that's the solution to that problem. Now let's take another problem, the fourth question, quickly. Alright, number 4, we have 49 x squared minus 144 y squared. Now if you look at this, this is more like difference of 2 squared. Now let me do something. This is the whole idea of difference of 2 squared. If I have x squared minus y squared, now one has to be, I have to do this. If I have something like this, I'm going to find the square root of x. The square root of x squared will give me x. I'm going to write x here. The square root of x squared will give me x. I'll write x here. Then I'll put a plus here and a minus here. The square root of y squared will give me y. square root of y squared will still give me y. So you can see. So this is how to get the difference of two squared. One will be plus, the other will be minus. So we want to pattern this question after this. So I have 49 y squared minus 144 y squared. So I'm going to open, there's a difference of two squared, I'm going to open two brackets. Now, my fourth bracket, I'm going to find the square root of 7, the square root of 49, 7, let me write 7 on both sides. The square root of y squared is y, so I'm going to write y here and attach y to that. This is plus, that is minus. I'm going to find the square root of 144 is 12, I'm going to write 12 here and 12 there. Square root of y squared is y, so I'm going to do y here and y there. So that is my answer. So it's pretty much easy. So let me do number 5. I have, okay, I'm going to solve number 5 here. I'm going to solve number 5 here. Okay, so quickly, number 5. I have 32x squared minus 200. 32x squared minus 200. Now, in difference of two squared, you can see that they are all perfect square. Now, in the case where, look at this question, it's different from number 4. In this question, they are not perfect square here. So the first thing I'm going to do is to factor out. I'm going to take the highest common factor. So the highest common factor here is 8. So if I take 8 as the highest common factor, so I'm going to do 32x squared divided by 8 will give me 4x squared minus 200 divided by 8 will give me 25. Now in this sense I have the perfect square, but this perfect is the perfect square, so I'm going to write 8 with open two brackets. So I'll find the square root of 4 is 2, I'll do 2 here, 2 here. The square root of x squared is x, I'll do x here, x, I'm going to do plus and minus. The square root of 25 is 5, equal 5 and 5. So that is my answer. I'm going to stop here. So I want to take, I think that is all for today. Thanks for watching my video and God bless you. Bye bye. Always subscribe on my channel. God bless you.